The Vanishing of Suzanne Simpson, a Texas Nightmare. Some secrets are buried deeper than others. In the affluent enclave of Olmos Park, San Antonio, the disappearance of Suzanne Simpson has unearthed a chilling tale of alleged domestic violence, hidden truths, and a community grappling with its own silence. This is the story of a missing mother, a husband accused, and the unsettling questions that linger in the Texas night. Suzanne Simpson, a 51-year-old real estate agent and mother of 4, vanished on October 6, 2024. Her disappearance sent shockwaves through the usually quiet streets of Olmos Park, a wealthy suburb of San Antonio. The case has since become a tangled web of accusations, circumstantial evidence, and unanswered questions. Despite months of investigation and legal wrangling, Suzanne's body has not been found. Attorneys are meticulously sifting through evidence, piecing together the events that led to her disappearance. The absence of a body only deepens the mystery and fuels the somber atmosphere surrounding the case. Brad Simpson, Suzanne's husband of 22 years, quickly became the prime suspect in her disappearance. He has been charged with a litany of offenses, painting a disturbing picture of the events leading up to October 6th. The charges include murder, tampering with evidence, aggravated assault, and prohibited weapons possession. Brad Simpson's legal team is preparing for a status hearing, which has already been delayed once in February. Both the prosecution and the defense have requested more time to sift through the mountain of evidence. The complexity of the case and the lack of a body make this a challenging legal battle. The night of October 6th was filled with tension and alleged violence. The evening began with a verbal altercation at the Argyle, an exclusive social club in San Antonio. This argument would set in motion a series of events that would ultimately lead to Suzanne's disappearance. Later that evening, Suzanne and her daughter were seen at an H-E-B grocery store between 8:40 p.m. and 8:51 p.m. This seemingly ordinary errand would be one of the last confirmed sightings of Suzanne. The mundane details of grocery shopping stand in stark contrast to the darkness that would soon engulf her life. After leaving the grocery store, Suzanne made phone calls to a family friend and her mother. During these calls, she claimed that Brad had assaulted her, causing injuries to her arm, back, and neck. These calls provide a chilling glimpse into the alleged abuse Suzanne endured. A neighbor reported witnessing a physical struggle between Brad and Suzanne that night. The neighbor claimed to have seen Suzanne trying to escape Brad's grasp. The witness also reported hearing screams coming from a wooded area near the Simpsons' home, adding a layer of horror to the unfolding tragedy. The day after Suzanne's disappearance, Brad Simpson's actions raised even more suspicion. Surveillance footage captured him at an H-E-B grocery store purchasing a large ice chest. This purchase would later become a key piece of evidence in the investigation. Brad was also seen buying food at a drive-thru in Kendall County. His truck contained several items of interest, including trash bags, a trash can, the ice chest, and a bulky item covered in a blue tarp. These items would later become central to the prosecution's case against him. Further investigation revealed that Brad had purchased cement, a bucket, trash bags, Clorox, and insect repellent at a Home Depot. These purchases, combined with the other evidence, suggested a deliberate attempt to conceal something. The seemingly innocuous items took on a sinister meaning in the context of Suzanne's disappearance. Brad was also seen asking for directions to the nearest dump in Bourne. This action further fueled suspicions that he was attempting to dispose of evidence related to Suzanne's disappearance. The search for Suzanne would soon expand to include landfills and wooded areas. At a gas station, it was noted that the trash bags were missing from Brad's truck, but the tarp and trash can were still present. This observation suggested that Brad had already disposed of something before reaching the gas station. The meticulous nature of his alleged actions painted a disturbing picture. Finally, Brad was seen cleaning his truck at a car wash in San Antonio. This attempt to remove any potential evidence from his vehicle only served to heighten suspicions about his involvement in Suzanne's disappearance. The car wash became another crime scene in the eyes of investigators. Suzanne's friend reported her missing on October 7th, triggering a full-scale investigation. Brad initially claimed that he hadn't seen Suzanne since October 6th, but his story quickly began to unravel under scrutiny. The investigation would soon uncover a web of lies and deceit. Text messages between Brad and James Val Cotter revealed a disturbing connection. Cotter was later charged with tampering with evidence and weapons possession. The text messages suggested that Cotter may have been involved in helping Brad cover up the crime. Brad was arrested on October 9, 2024, and Cotter was arrested on October 21, 2024. The arrests brought a sense of relief to the community, but the search for Suzanne continued. The legal proceedings would be long and arduous. A search warrant executed on Brad's property uncovered several pieces of crucial evidence. A burn site was discovered, containing a burnt laptop and cell phones. The destruction of these devices suggested an attempt to eliminate incriminating evidence. Stains found in Brad's truck tested positive for his blood. However, the presence of blood only deepened the mystery surrounding Suzanne's disappearance. The bloodstains raised questions about the alleged assault and the events that followed. Perhaps the most damning piece of evidence was the discovery of Suzanne's DNA on a concealed reciprocating saw. This discovery suggested that the saw may have been used in connection with her disappearance. The saw became a focal point of the investigation. Brad remains in jail on a $3 million bond, awaiting trial. The high bond reflects the severity of the charges against him and the risk that he might flee. The legal proceedings are expected to be lengthy and complex. The case has exposed the issue of domestic violence in the wealthy community of Olmos Park. The disappearance of Suzanne Simpson has forced the community to confront uncomfortable truths about abuse and silence. The case has sparked a wider conversation about the need for greater awareness and support for victims of domestic violence. Many in the community have wondered if they had looked the other way for too long. The case has prompted a period of introspection and self-reflection. The silence surrounding domestic violence has been shattered, but the healing process is just beginning. The Argyle Club, where Brad and Suzanne attended a party on the night of her disappearance, is an exclusive, private, members-only social club. It represents the heart of San Antonio's elite social circles. The club's opulent setting stands in stark contrast to the dark events that unfolded later that night. San Antonio's wealth is often described as quiet and understated, unlike the flashy displays of wealth seen in cities like Dallas. The city's elite tend to keep a low profile, making the Simpson case all the more shocking. The case has pulled back the curtain on a world of privilege and secrecy. Neighbors described Suzanne as friendly, outgoing, and a supermom. She was known for her dedication to her children and her active involvement in the community. Her disappearance has left a void in the lives of those who knew her. Chandler Simpson, Suzanne's daughter, has been outspoken in her accusations against her father. She has publicly accused him of abuse and murder. Chandler has also criticized the community for its silence on domestic violence, calling for greater awareness and action. Further investigation revealed that Brad had suspended Suzanne's phone service shortly before her disappearance. This action raised suspicions that he was attempting to isolate her and control her communication. The suspension of her phone service became another piece of the puzzle. The neighbor who witnessed the struggle between Brad and Suzanne provided a detailed account of the events. The neighbor's testimony painted a disturbing picture of the alleged assault. The neighbor's account became a crucial piece of evidence in the case. Cement splashes were found in Brad's truck, further supporting the theory that he had used cement to dispose of Suzanne's body. The presence of cement splashes provided a tangible link between Brad and the alleged crime. The cement splashes became a key piece of forensic evidence. Brad has been indicted for tampering with evidence and concealing a corpse. These charges reflect the prosecution's belief that he actively attempted to cover up his involvement in Suzanne's disappearance. The indictments marked a significant step forward in the legal proceedings. Brad remains in jail, with his bond set at $3 million. He is awaiting trial on the charges against him. The legal proceedings are expected to be lengthy and complex. Brad has been allowed to exchange letters with his son, but not with his daughter Chandler. This restriction reflects the strained relationship between Brad and Chandler, who has been vocal in her accusations against him. The family has been torn apart by the tragedy. Suzanne is still missing, and the search for her continues. Despite the lack of a body, investigators remain committed to finding her and bringing closure to her family. The search for Suzanne is a race against time. Suzanne's mother believes that she is dead. The uncertainty surrounding Suzanne's fate has taken a heavy toll on her family. The hope of finding her alive is dwindling, but the search for justice continues. The disappearance of Suzanne Simpson is a chilling reminder that darkness can lurk beneath the surface of even the most affluent communities. The case exposes the devastating consequences of alleged domestic violence and the importance of breaking the silence that often surrounds it. As the legal proceedings continue, the search for Suzanne and the truth remains paramount. If you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, please reach out for help. Contact the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 800-799 SAFE 7233, or visit their website at thehotline.org. Your voice matters, and you are not alone. Share this video to raise awareness and help break the cycle of violence. Subscribe to our channel for more in-depth true crime analysis and updates on this case as it unfolds.